All right. Hello. Hi, friends. Welcome to the happy hour. Today we're going to be doing some drawing, like every time. We always do the same thing. Sometimes it's painting, sometimes it's drawing, but generally we're just getting some time in our sketchbook. Thank you for being here. If you are watching on the replay, thank you for watching the replay. I am going to be doing a little bit of something different. We've been painting a lot the past couple of months, so I kind of feel like doing something different today. I brought out my markers again, so I'm going to be playing with markers today, and I really wanted to, keep this very like loose, very casual, very relaxed, and I wanted it to be very like sketchy. I just wanted to kind of like play today. I didn't want to do anything too involved or too specific, and so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to be just playing with I'm going to be playing with markers, and I'm going to be drawing some like funny little images that I pulled from Pinterest. These images are kind of all inspired by play and toys and nostalgia, and I don't know, just kind of keep it very, very light, very, very loose, and yeah, it's something very different than we've drawn. I'm personally not that like interested ever in drawing things like kind of cartoony things, so I feel like this is gonna be a really good like challenge for me. And one of the things that I feel like I'm gonna be really interested in is not necessarily drawing like a cartoon character, but actually drawing an object that is meant to look like something like that, right? So how do we make it look like the stuffed animal or the little like figurine rather than just making it look like the character? So that's something I'm kind of thinking about, but I'm not trying to take that too seriously. I just want to play in my sketchbook. So I have a new sketchbook. I'll show you. This one I purchased I think maybe like a month or two ago, maybe a couple of months ago, and I was just waiting to finish my previous sketchbook before I could start working with this one. So I already started playing with it a little bit. It's a really nice sketchbook. It is pretty big. I wish I know that there's like a little paper that came with it. I thought I meant to keep that, but I don't know where it is. There's like a little paper. I think this book is about 9 by 12. That's much bigger than I usually work. Hi there. Thank you for being here, Crack Covered Skittles. Crack Covered Skittles, remind me, what do you like to go by? Because unless you just want me to call you Crack, which is fine. I just can't remember. I'm so sorry. I know you told me already, but so this is my new sketchbook, and I am like really impressed with it already. It has like really thick Fabriano paper as well, so that's like a nice bonus, I guess. The paper in here is pretty heavy. I want to say it's like 150 GSM. Kirby, stop. Okay, now I know. Thank you. Hi, Kirby. How you doing? Okay, so this has like really nice paper. Again, it is kind of like, I feel like it's kind of the same as the one from my previous sketchbook. It doesn't feel as thick and doesn't have any like beautiful deckled edges, but it's very nice paper still. So this is a very nice sketchbook as well. And you can see I'm gonna like play a little bit more with this. Hi, Elizabeth. I'm trying not to, be too serious in the sketchbook. I know. No. It's all good. I love it. And, sometimes I think like I should change mine because, in this day and age of everything, like, we're always worried about like our identity and like people stealing our identity and things like that. It's kind of a good idea to have like an obscure name instead of your actual name. Hi, Elsa. Thank you for being here. Someday, right? So this is what I kind of played with. I already like broke the ice on this new sketchbook. I did leave this page empty, so I think I'll do something there later. But I just played with my pencil, some gouache, some markers, and it worked out. It works really well. Like there's a little bit, I can see in the light a little bit of the imagery from the other side, but for the most part, paper held up really nice with water-based markers, gouache, water-based markers. Everything else is just normal stuff. I really do want to try it with alcohol-based markers, but I don't have a set of alcohol markers with me right now. I left one at my daughter's, and so I'm going to have her bring it to me so that I can play with those later. Okay, so I wanted to do just kind of playful stuff today. I don't want to like spend too much time on any one, but of course there are several images for you to choose from. I picked 4, and if you open up that link on the Pinterest board, you can see that I have a lot of images there, and you can pick whatever you like from there. I tried to pick things that weren't as old as me, you know, like I know that I grew up with some of these that are very like vintage retro toys. Yes, I'm tomboing today, Elizabeth. But I know some of you guys are much younger than me, and you probably had like, I don't know, 2000s, dare I say 2010s. I don't know. But I tried to pick a little variety of even like contemporary toys. Like, you know, my daughter's very into like the Labubus and all the Pop Mart stuff. So I think those are fun things to draw too. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And go ahead and feel free to pick whichever images you like. But again, like, especially when you look at that image, let me pop it up here so you can see which one I'm talking about. This one, the Crocs and those little gibbets or whatever they call those thingies. And then like the little, like friendship, not friendship bracelet, but the beaded bracelet kind of thingies around the edges. Like this is kind of the spirit of what I'm going for in terms of like playful color, mixing and matching of patterns, unusual shapes. Just there's a lot that I like about that image. So that's kind of the energy I want to bring to this. So again, very sketchy. It's kind of like these old, remember those old, or like for me, my old sketchbook spreads where I just kind of markered and put everything together. That's kind of what I'm going for today. So you, of course, should do whatever you feel good doing, right? So if that means that you want to just focus on one and like, you know, make it beautiful and perfect and exceptional, please do that. And if you want to work on multiple things and spread them around and break them up and do double sketches of them, please do that too. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this one. It's a little small here. So again, if you need to, remember that I have these on the Patreon and you can like get a little closer to them. I definitely have a little bit of a hard time with the app being able to like zoom in. So, you know, I can't really zoom in that well, but you might be able to. Okay, I'm so glad you like the Pinterest board, Kirby. Yeah, it is. I mean, I just kept going like, oh my gosh, that needs to be in there. And there's some things that like, they're not really, like originally I called it toys. And then I was like, this isn't really necessarily toys, but I definitely feel like it's giving, you know, play, right? Like just kind of like funny colors and things like that. So I also have my acrylic markers out as well. And they're over here too. I'm going to use a little bit of mixture of everything. And I just really love these like really like fluorescent markers that I have. So whenever I can, I try to pull those little guys out. So I'm going to start with this fun little like purse charm, which I'm so into. I don't know, do you guys have purse charms? Are you all into that too? I just love the idea of just adorning your stuff with more stuff. I don't know. I'm wondering, yes, the gumball machine. Oh my God, that gives me so many like nostalgic, fuzzy feelings. I begged my parents for a gumball machine when I was a little kid. Also, I mean, I put a lot of things I put there are like very autobiographical because there was the other thing that I put in there, the gumball machine I really wanted when I was a kid. And I remember also the Polaroid camera. I know I've told you all that before, but that I did beg my parents for one for Christmas one year, and I broke it on Christmas morning. So it didn't last very long. I also, one of the other things that really like, oh my gosh, inspires so much like nostalgia for me was the plastic charm necklace. I mean, I think all of y'all are too young for that, but if you remember that, please, you know, let me know because I remember that so well, the charm necklace. It's, right? Devastating. The charm necklace is so cute, and it was just full of like stupid little plastic charms that, you know, why would you want that? But I will never forget that necklace. And I think one of the only pictures that I did get with my Polaroid camera that Christmas when I got it was with my friend who I had seen, and she and I took a picture together, and we were wearing, I remember that picture, I was wearing that necklace. I wonder where that picture is, because I remember it, I just haven't seen it in a long time. So, okay, so this is my Garfield. I know that looks rough. It looks so bad, I love it. And then I'm going to kind of build on top of it. So I'm going to play with it a little bit more. I just kind of have like this big shape, something to kind of like base off of. And I'll probably use this pink also. Did you love those too, Elsa? Oh, I'm so happy to hear it. You're totally about that too. Okay, I love it. Because I feel like sometimes, like, I don't know. I feel like, okay, I'm an art teacher, right? You know this. And sometimes, you know, my students all want to draw characters, just characters that they like and know. And so sometimes I have to be really like discouraging about, you know, let's try something else and let's not do that one today. You know, how about we try something different? And so this is kind of like an interesting exercise for me, and an interesting way to think about how we draw other objects too. I just finished doing a project for my practicum, and I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys, but I had to do, I had to draw some characters out of like cartoon characters from like historical artifacts. So I was working with a local museum here, and they have all these like artifacts, and they asked me to create these kind of like characters in order to use for like educational materials for kids. And so that was really challenging for me. It wasn't something I was really like good at. And it's not something I felt comfortable doing. So it was a real challenge for me. And it kind of like inspired me to think about like drawing things that are personified, you know? So we're still kind of like thinking about how, you know, these kind of like characters can be, how things can become these kind of characters. So I wanted to try that, and I thought it'd be fun to do something kind of similar in that vein. So I'm, you know, I hope you all enjoy drawing like these kinds of things like toys and dolls. And I hope this kind of just kind of takes you down a, you know, memory lane, right? Just to kind of like help you remember some of the things that maybe if you were anything like me as a kid, if you liked drawing, and if you liked the cartoon, I mean, I remember I loved to draw the Ninja Turtles, like so obsessed with drawing the Ninja Turtles when I was little. I'm sure all my elementary school classmates can attest to the fact that I was always drawing Ninja Turtles. And, you know, it's just something that I really like clicked with. And so I would continue to draw them just over and over. I'm trying to get all this interlocking stuff together. That's going to be a whole other thing. Now, does this need to be, I can already see I'm not quite, I didn't quite get it in the right place. So I'm going to play with this a little. This should have been over there. And it's not. So I'm going to add another little ring here. Just pretend that there's a ring there, because I didn't quite match them up. But the more rings, the merrier. So I'm just going to sketch it all in there. Even though, I mean, we really don't have to draw all of these little things. You know, you can kind of pick and choose. I love the look of those like interlocking kind of rings. I like the way they look when they're all kind of like stacked and like jumbled into like a messy little bunch. So I'm going to add some of that in here, or try to create some of that look there. I was thinking about putting a little bit of a timer just to kind of give myself time to do more than one, but I'm going to just let us draw. we're just going to draw free, right? Okay, this is really far. And I think I'm going to also be drawing a little bit over the spine of the book, so I plan to use some of that space too. Something weird happened here. It's okay. We'll fix that later. I have to say I do feel a little rusty in these with these markers. I kind of played a little bit with them yesterday, but I didn't really want to. Like, I wanted to continue drawing with or painting with gouache. And I'm going to show you this book I bought. I bought this like sticker book. I don't know if you guys have seen it before. I'm sure you have. I mean, a lot of people have this book, right? And I really like the artist's work. I remember seeing her work in, she has a lot of illustrated like home decor things at Anthropologie. Like, you see a lot of her illustrations on like plates and mugs and things like that. I really liked her work, right? It's kind of like this really like rustic kind of painting. It's playful, it's, you know, loose. And I thought about maybe I should do painting so that I can kind of try to like think about how like loose these are. These are still kind of cartoony in some cases, but they also have, you know, this painterly quality. And so I was thinking about doing something kind of inspired by that. So maybe I'll do that on another stream, because I just am thinking it might be fun to play with paint for these subjects, you know, because these are subjects that are kind of like kitschy, and it might be kind of fun to think about making them into like more defined paintings. So that is maybe on the agenda. We'll see. I'm going just going to block this in, because the intricacies of something like this could drive me crazy. I know it. So I'm going to make it really loose, and if it's not all perfect, I'm going to be okay with that. Okay. Just gives me an idea of where things are going to go. I kind of pre-selected some colors to use today, but I don't know. Wait, maybe I should start here. I don't know if I'll be sticking with them, adding some more. We'll see. I'm going to be really loose about this. Very loosey-goosey. We're going to be okay with that. Has been a really long time since I've used my Tombos. In fact, they feel a little dry. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I do have them like in my window. I don't know if that's, I'm thinking maybe that was not a good idea to put them there. Maybe they started drying out a little from there, so we'll see. I also have been really wanting to play with this brush, and it just doesn't feel, I feel like I might actually be emptying it out. It might actually be almost done, which I had a lot of trouble with it yesterday, or it didn't want to really work. So I switched over to a different brush, and that one was water soluble. So that's what I think the Texas heat does. It gets to everyone. Oh my gosh. That Texas heat there. You can run, but you can't hide. No joke. How's it been in your neck of the woods? Because it's been rainy here, which has been so nice. I feel like I don't think I should go in with this yet. I should kind of build that up a little bit more. Try to get my space, my shapes kind of blocked in here. The Garfield. Oh my gosh. Just have so many Garfield memories. I feel like my sister really liked Garfield. I'm sure she'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I have this memory of her really liking Garfield. Garfield wasn't really my thing, but I do remember him quite a bit, and he's apparently relevant again, so that's cute. It's like they can't come up with any, well, they do come up with new things, but I feel like they're just constantly like reinventing the things that we I wonder if that was the case too when we were kids. Like everything we were seeing, like our parents were like, oh, this is just a repeat of whatever we did. Maybe that's how it was all this time. Rainy, yes, right? I know. I think it's been so nice because of the overcast and like the cloudiness and the little bit of rain we've gotten. So we tend to really have like such a, like even during hurricane season, we have such a mild version of it. I feel like we're lucky in that sense, because I know Houston gets it pretty bad. Let's see, how are these little paws? What do you guys, if you are you drinking anything delicious right now? I'm just having iced coffee. Decaf, of course. I think about that thing about parents all the time. This weird repeating. Yeah, exactly. I think about that also. Like, we always say, especially like as teachers, we always go like, oh, kids these days, and it's like, we say that every year. Everyone has always said that. We always think that the experiences we're having are exceptional, and they're really not. It's just the same every time. Chai tea latte, Elsa. Love that. I wish I wanted to have matcha, but I'm still trying to enjoy matcha. I don't really like matcha, but I'm trying to get into it. And I was gonna make some, but I have, as of late, have determined that I am not able to drink very much caffeine after like noon anymore. Like, yeah. Otherwise, I'll just be up all night. It'll drive me crazy, and I don't want to spend my life wishing I was asleep. I just remember the time when I could just drink coffee whenever I felt like it. And sadly, that part of my life is over. That era is gone. Wow, this looks so short. When did these get so little? I don't know which one's gonna work for me. I feel like I had a lot of trouble with all my whites. Sorry, my dog is making some noise over there. Okay, we'll try this little guy. I'm gonna put some in here too, even though this isn't exactly white. I'm gonna try to get this guy moving. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I really want to get kind of like a decaf girlies rise. Yes, I can't. I wish that wasn't the case. I just remember the days of just having, like, I can't even have tea in the afternoon. I can't even have a soda. I know I tell you guys this all the time. Oh, I feel like I'm always complaining about it. Like, I can't even have a soda. I was thinking I couldn't even have like chocolate and stuff, because I feel like everything, I'll feel it. Like right when I'm trying to go to bed, I'm like, if I don't fall asleep within like 5 minutes, oh, something's wrong. I'm a good sleeper. I'm really good at that. One of my skills, one of my talents. All right, let's see. Yeah, I really want something really kind of loose and expressive with these little characters. I'm not trying to take them too seriously. Got some little sneaky eyes over here. I remember a while back, probably a couple of years ago, I did a lot of stuff in my sketchbook that involved like drawing like friendship bracelets and things like that. And I loved that. Like they was so much fun to draw. They were just so like, oh, that's not really doing much. Like really, fun ways to explore colors and shapes, right? Just kind of like thinking about, the shapes of the beads and things like that, and the shapes that were formed. I drew a lot of friendship bracelets, the ones that are like knotted from like string, and those were super fun because I just feel like they created like these like really fun patterns of color and shape that were just really, they were very exciting for me to draw. I'm sure they weren't very exciting to look at, but I did really enjoy the you know, the repetition of colors and shapes. That really like works for me a lot of the times. I'm very color and shape driven in my work. It kind of builds out some of these little forms, maybe here too. It's been a while since I've been on these markers, so it's like starting from the beginning again. So we're going to be using today, this is going to be like a short, you know, 1 hour drawing session every time we have these, just to get some time in on our sketchbook. If you don't feel like drawing, you don't have to draw any. Mountain Dews are your favorite. So that one does have a lot of caffeine though, right? Because I think Mountain Dew is kind of like known for that, right? For being pretty, like, gets people wired. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a Mountain Dew ever in my life. Zero or otherwise. What was that? I don't know if I really want to kind of even try to capture that kind of like knit. So I guess maybe as I start doing it. Just see that there's some like darks in here. Okay. I'm filling the markers. It's been a while, but I'm feeling them again. I really like the like sort of like all that mark making that they have, that they leave. I really like that part of it. So, oh, that looks kind of like bones, or like it looks kind of like a rib cage. Whoops, that's not what I meant. Oh, are you doing the gumballs? Oh, there's so many, right? Maybe it's kind of, you can kind of do like, remember when we did the like fruit blobs, like just abbreviate them. Yeah, that can be quite a challenge. There's so much shadow here, and I have to say, I kind of want to draw the shadow. Normally I would, so I'm going to try to put some of it in there. I guess I'm using the whole page then. Oh, this is really dark. There. That light is so fun. Fun to draw. Okay, let's see if I can get the shape of it kind of in there. Ooh, not gonna happen here. I'm gonna have to put this space in right here and bring it all the way over here. And sometimes you just have to like resolve things in different ways, especially if you're feeling like if you're like me and things aren't quite matching up where they're supposed to. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm going to, you know, find a solution instead of like, oh no, I need to erase and I can't erase. It's just going to be like, you know, it's okay. Let's draw it somewhere else. Let's end it somewhere else, and try to make it make sense, you know, if you can. So don't stress if things aren't quite matching the image. I feel like this image is so like specific that, you know, if you've seen it before, then someone could see your drawing and go like, oh, that must be coming from that. So, but generally speaking, like we always say, you know, most of the time you're not going to see the image. You're just going to see the drawing. So it's okay if it's not exactly like the picture. In fact, the further away, the better, I think, because it makes it, you know, it removes for it. What am I trying to say here? It it creates like a removal between, or like a space, like a separation between your work and the work of the artist who photographed this, right? Whoever this is, even if it's not like an art image per se, it's still kind of like somebody else's composition. So it's kind of like this idea of making it your own, right? Let's see if we can. Wow, this gets pretty complicated over here. I'm just like, I made a huge mistake. I made a huge mistake by doing all the shadows, but I will carry on. I will persevere. I'm sure it'll be fine at the end. Feel like put this in here. Wow, that shadow gave me a lot more trouble than I thought it would. That was hard, and I still feel like it's not quite resolved yet, so I still have to, I made up a fake ring here, so I think it should be this, maybe something like that. I'm just gonna put a bunch of lines in here and see if it just confuses people, and then they won't ask questions. It won't be like, that doesn't make sense, because I just put a bunch of lines in there. Okay, there we go. Feel like I can kind of wrap it up there. Thank goodness. That shadow was driving me up the wall. I mean, it's still not great, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Hopefully it gets a little better, because it's looking a little iffy here. Wait, I want something really red, like cherry red. Wondering if any of you guys are using Tombos like I am today. It's like these little knit pieces there. Okay. Like, where else can I bring some red in over here? Using the Tombos on the gumball machine as well. Okay, exciting. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, I love a gumball machine. My daughter loves a like a not really a vending machine, but you know, like those little crane machines. Oh my gosh, she loves those. Like a prize machine, I guess. Should have put some of those in there, because those are like, some people love them. Yes, you are too. Yes, and it has been a minute. Yeah, I haven't used them in so long. Probably a good thing that we're breaking them out again. I'm gonna see how this paper handles layers and layers of water-based markers. It's always kind of like, can get a little dicey there, just because of the you know, the water. So we shall see how it holds up. Okay, that's looking pretty crazy. We gotta fix that. I don't remember what white I used. I have like no memory of this. Hold on. I know I had a different white that I wanted to try. I think it was this one, the Posca. Oh no, there it is. I knew there was one in here that worked. I think this one works. We will see. Oh, yes it does. A little bit too much. Oh, it looks kind of runny. There we go. Just give it a little indication. Doesn't have to be perfect and clean. But I do have these acrylic markers, so if I need to come over something, I can do that. Possibly even with like these kind of like lighter. Let me see if this is lighter. It might not be lighter. Whoa. This one feels pretty dry. Ooh, there it goes. Yeah, I haven't really used these either in a while. My markers wanted a little bit of love. This looks so funny, like I need to really work on that little hand because his hand is looking a little funny. He looks like he's making a crude gesture with his fingers. I'm going to need to clean that up. See? Right there. I do think maybe these markers are a little they can activate that ink a little. How weird. Let me see. Perhaps a little bit of yellow will be good in here. I'm trying to bring out some of the lights here. I thought that orange would do it, but it did not. Just touch on some. I feel like this is going to be one of those I'm going to have to come back and work on. It's like, it's not looking that great yet. We'll just have to see what happens with it. But you know what? No worries, right? No worries. It's all good. Just for fun. Right there. We could use a little bit of light here. Looking for those little areas where we see light a little bit more. It's pretty dark on this side, so I don't want to do too much there, but I would like, if I had like a really orangey red. Yes, I think this could work. We'll see. I'm going to use this kind of like a shadow. It's just like a reddish, but it's like that luminescent red. So it's kind of got that fluorescence to it. I'm a fan. Give him a little bit of shadow there. There's a lot of shadow in between those hands. That's so ugly. It's so funny though. It's okay. Garfield's not looking that hot yet, but we're gonna work on him. And add some other colors in here. It's pretty dark back here, so see if we can bring that even darker. I don't know why I chose markers for, I think normally markers are really good for things that you want to have like a little bit more precision, just because you get that with the brush tip. But I feel like it was a, I don't know, I underestimated how challenging I think the imagery would be. So I'm feeling like the markers are giving me like an extra challenge. It's like making, like it's harder for me with the markers because I'm so rusty. And we're figuring it out, right? I'm wondering if I would enjoy doing some of this in like painting. I think I might. Do love to paint. This This is really nice and dark in here, so I'm just gonna really build up that shadow a little bit. Not everywhere, but somewhere for sure. It's cracking me up. Okay. I want to put some really dark stuff right in here. It's not really that dark. It's like I'm going to put some really dark stuff in there. It doesn't even look dark. Maybe if I use this red. I remember these are the water-based markers, so they are kind of like sitting on top of that acrylic marker, which I'm surprised it's actually like really sitting nicely, I think. Like there, it gives me like a nice sharp line. And there are some really like sharp edges. I'll put a little bit of this, what is this, red? Right on top of that blue. It really pulls out that dark. I think even like in here, there's a lot of dark in here. Can't figure out what that is. Another, nope, I don't know what that is. Probably have to come back in there in a little bit as well. Okay. A little bit more in here. Okay. Haven't really gotten to any of this other stuff, so I'm going to try to come in there right now. Put some of this pink in here. I think I'll come back on top with some of the acrylic marker as well. Like I can spend a long time playing with all of these little links and chains and rings, and I think I might. I do want to come back and put in some light on them, so I'll probably try that later. This invented ring, ugh, I have to just like imagine what I think it should look like. That's never good, but, or that's always hard for me. Maybe it's not hard for, I think some people are really good at that. I am not one of those people blessed with that talent, but I'm a great sleeper. I'm really good at sleeping. That's my talent. Okay, I'm just kind of outlining them, and that is helping me to kind of make sense of like what's going to be in front and which one is like, you know, going through the area. So that is a little tricky to make sense of, but okay. A little ring over here. I saw a ceramicist who does these like ceramic rings and like links them together, and it just really like blew my mind. Like, how do you make that? How could you do that? Like with the like in the construction, I feel like that would be so challenging, and also I feel like it would be really confusing. Like it would be really easy to lose track of what you were doing. Just really kind of impressed me. Like, wow. Would like to try making just one link. Like I just want to see see what it's like, see how hard it is. There's that other one there. I had lost that little ring there. Okay, and I'm going to put some letters here, but I want to put different letters than what I see there. I'm going to put what should I put in there? I don't have an idea yet, so I'll tell you later. We'll wait on that one. I did want to kind of like figure out where some of these letters were going to go, just so at least I would know that. This green on top of the red makes a really nice shadow. That's a good one. Right down the middle. Do feel like my hand is dipping into some of these wet paints. Gotta keep an eye on that. If you have a purse charm, what would you have on it? What would you like on yours? I have one right now that I just have like a small one that I picked up from one of the little local markets here. And it's like a little 8-ball. And then we went to this like dumpling place, and they were having like a grand opening, and we didn't even know, but they came and brought us these like tote bags, and there was like a little dumpling keychain in there, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna add that to my purse, but I haven't done it yet. But it was so cute, and I thought that would be a cute little purse charm. I want something kind of like, you know, friendship bracelet-y, like beaded bracelet-y, like my bracelet, or like all of these like beaded things, and I have like these little things. I have a lot of beaded things like this. I think that would be fun. Oh, like the page painted, right? A cute little dumpling. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. It just says the name of the location, the name of the business, right? But I was like, oh, I can like, you know, acetate that off. Already trying to take off their branding. It's because it's so cute. It's a tiny little dumpling. Okay, some stuff here is interesting. Not feeling that stuff too much, but let me put some lights in there. Maybe I'll respond to it a little bit more if there's some light in there. I think this is the one that worked. Let's try that. So today is my first official day, I think it is, official day with class, all my classes being finished. So I'm so glad. It's like such a nice way to kind of like start my summer official. I mean, I guess it's not an official first start of summer, but it feels like that because I was still doing so much stuff. And oh my gosh, it's just so nice. I got a lot of white there. Whoopsie. Try to drag some of that over here. When that happens, I try to just kind of like leave it there as much as I can. You can also try, let me try lifting a little bit of it just with this is a dry brush. I'm going to try to lift some of it, but sometimes I'll just like let it sit there, and sometimes it just takes a really long time to dry. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I'm excited to be on summer break now. Okay, his eyes are looking a little wild, so let me see if I can fix some of this stuff here. Oh, there's white around his nose I hadn't noticed before. There we go. And he does look like he has a little fist, like he wants to fight right there. So I might need to play with that one a little bit more. I think some more little lights. Oh, went a little too hard again. I'm just going to try to spread it out a little. Bring it to some of these like high points. And I think the good thing with these like acrylic markers too, if that happens, is you can also just like you can come back and draw on top of them, but you do need to wait for them to dry. Sometimes I don't have the patience for that. So sometimes my patience is wearing very thin if I can't close the book or like move on to something else. Oh, it'll drive me crazy. Oh yeah, I forgot about this little part here. And actually that doesn't quite look right, but I think I'm gonna bring in my colored pencil. I haven't used this in a while. Indigo blue right here. And that way I can use it kind of for some texture. I do want to experiment a little bit more this month with the kind of like black ink underdrawing that I was doing at the end of last month's drawing sessions. I really am like really responding to that, and I really like the way it looks. So I want to, you know, kind of play with that a little bit more. I don't know exactly what I plan to do, but I think that we're going to try some things. I wanted to try some different ways of like building surfaces this month too. I just, again, want it to be all like just play. So if I just, and hopefully I discover some new ways that I enjoy working. Maybe not, you know, we should have a lot of failures like in what we do in order to find the things that we like. I don't remember what I used for this. I did use this brush. Make this a little bit bigger. I don't have any more black in here. Maybe we will. Oh, there go my dogs. Sorry about that. I don't know what my dogs heard, but they didn't like it. You know, I was going to use this pencil, but now I'm thinking I want this. The other day, my dogs like freaked out at night, and they started barking and barking and begging to go outside. And there was a cat in my yard. And they were like, oh my God, panic. I'm thinking cat is making an appearance again in the yard. So that must be why they're so belligerent. Does that sound really loud to you guys or no? Oh, maybe that kind of like helps me build that darkness in there. Okay, I can kind of use that. Oh my gosh, they're being so excessive right now. I had just started with the pencil, and then I kind of went back into this brush tip, whatever, dry brush ink. There we go, ink brush. Okay, dogs, that's plenty. We get it. It's your territory. We get it. So dramatic. Are any of you guys doing anything fun for the weekend? Anybody have a nice activity planned for their weekend? Wow, even Henry's mad. Yesterday was my dog Henry's 14th birthday. Cannot believe he's 14. He's so old. I don't think we've ever had a dog that lived to 14 years old. I know for small dogs, like that's kind of normal, right? Pool time with some friends. Oh, nice. You have some more set painting to do for Saturday and Sunday, but Friday you're going to grill and chill. Nice. That sounds good. Thank you. I'll tell Henry you said that. Maybe he'll stop barking so much. I'm like such a cranky little old man. He's not usually the one who instigates barking at the neighbors. Lucy's the instigator, but it sounds like he's instigating things today. Okay, so it is 6:56, so we're gonna kind of get ready to wrap up. If you're feeling like you want to keep painting, of course, keep painting. I might do a little bit more painting. I do have to go to the grocery store, but I will probably come back and revisit this later on. But some things that I feel like about it already. Let's just, let's recap. Let's see what we're doing. He's got a lot of feelings. He really does. I guess that's what comes with being 14. So, I mean, so far, like, I'll show this to you a little bit closer, right? So here's my ugly little Garfield. He's funky. Everything's looking really rough right now, but I think that's okay. I think I'm gonna keep playing with it a little bit, and see what I can do to kind of give this a little bit more definition, but like maybe not too much. I do want it to feel kind of like, a little painterly. I'm just looking for those little bits that are still feeling like maybe it's not reading exactly how I want it to read yet. So that's what I want to do. I want to kind of look for that. So I'll probably come back and play with this a little bit more later. I feel like I want to put something in here, and I want to add some other stuff around here. So I'll probably add some more things to this little spread here. And maybe it'll start to kind of like feel like it comes together. Right now it's still feeling really like, kind of sparse. I know that there's a lot of stuff here, but it still feels quite sparse to me. So I'll put in some more things there later. And yeah, I mean, maybe just kind of like just wade into this, like back to this like kind of marker drawing, and then like take my time, not really dive in, but slowly kind of wade into it, and then play with the idea of the sketchbook spread, which I really want to do again. Oh, my page is glued together already. Wow, Erica, that was fast. Okay. But like, yeah, I mean, I haven't done really like that kind of a sketchbook spread like we used to do, or like I used to do. And so I kind of want to do that again. Just, I want to treat my sketchbook, or this sketchbook, with a little bit more of a sense of like, it's going to be playful, right? It's going to be loose, and there is no expectation for completed paintings. Even though I really liked that in the previous sketchbook that I made, the one with all the plants and the leaves and stuff, that was really fun, and I really like seeing it with a bunch of like finished paintings. But I feel like I want this one to be a little bit more playful. I would love it to be, a little more, like, I want to be like a little less like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I want to say like not so specific about what I include in the imagery. So I want to just use it like an experimental space. So that's what I'm hoping I can do. We'll see what happens as we move forward in this month. I'm gonna have another one of these happy hours next Wednesday, same time, and I hope you guys can join me. So if you did any sort of work here, you want to share it, you know where to do it. We have a space on the Patreon for this. I'm just gonna put a little date so we will remember that this happened on July 2nd. So yeah, you can share on the Patreon. You can share with me on Instagram. I would love that. And I hopefully, if I did everything right, I recorded this. So I'll do like a little video that I can share with you guys later if you just want to see the process for it, right? So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And I hope to see you next time at our next live stream. So take it easy, and we'll catch up later. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining.